What if I tell you that you and I were made by our mothers when they were in their grandmother's wombs? To add to that baffle, I also tell you that you are not just what you eat, but also what your mum and your grandmom ate. To explain the story from the start, Professor David Barker in Southampton explained this as all the eggs a woman will ever carry in her ovaries are formed when she is a 4-month-old baby. So each one of us spend about 5 months of our life in our grandmother's wombs. So if you would like to calculate the antique of your egg, then you could take your mom's date of birth and subtract it by 20 weeks. Fascinating, isn't it? This was an introduction to tell you what a woman eats before and during her pregnancy has the power to influence 2 lifetimes, her own and the future health of her baby. So we are what our mothers and our grandmothers ate. Coming to my journey as a researcher, a kitchen science kit gifted by my parents sparked my interest in science and particularly nutrition, and I went on to study nutrition during my undergraduation and post-graduation. My experiences have contributed to shaping my interests immensely in maternal nutrition and public health nutrition policy today. During my master's degree in Glasgow, I was introduced to the idea of developmental programming, which explains that what a woman eats before and during her pregnancy is more important to shape the health of a future child than at any other point in life. In the same year, a report I wrote to the British Health Minister on how to improve the nation's health won me an award. This interest grew stronger during my clinical role as a nutritionist in a hospital in India, when I worked with obstetricians and observed that women who had diabetes during pregnancy, their placentas and the umbilical cord and the babies looked really different. I also observed that the scissors that the obstetricians used while delivering the women and cutting the umbilical cord nearly slipped because there were permanent structural changes to the umbilical cord as a result of the diabetes during pregnancy. So many studies today, from Southampton in the UK to Mysore in India, have shown that the adult diabetes what we see actually takes place its origin when a baby is poorly nourished in the womb, and more so if a woman has diabetes during pregnancy, which can increase the risk of a baby being born too small or too big. While we know that nutrition before and during pregnancy is important, it is often challenging to tell women to eat well enough to nurture a baby and at the same time control her blood sugar levels. Diet is very complex and even more complex to measure it, as the food what we eat is a combination of different nutrients and is also influenced by many factors such as religion, culture, income, and the geographic location a person resides in. Food matters to all of us and all of us have an opinion. While cultural beliefs in India say that women should avoid green leafy vegetables during pregnancy in order to have babies being born with dark skin, on the other hand, the food industries promote iron-rich products which are also high on sugar. Today in Leeds, I continue to study how a woman's diet and her lifestyle influence a baby's birth weight in the Born in Bradford cohort, in addition to the markers of genetics and her metabolism. I hope that the knowledge from my work will contribute to the development of culturally appropriate nutrition food-based guidelines for women in the UK, India, and across the globe. A confluence of research and education is important to convey to the policymakers and the public to make future generations healthy.